Alright, we got paired. Let's go with c4 this time. Feeling I've been playing this quite a lot lately. Let's go g3. Not commit the knights yet. Instantly put the pressure on b7. Not that it matters much, but... I mean, d5 is coming. Assume they could line up there too, but let's put the bishop there, so this doesn't make sense. Assuming d5 is gonna happen. And then it's some kind of a Catalan-ish position, or a semi-Catalan, or whatever it's called. Is everything alright? Seems to be. So, I hate the takes. So... I think I'm just gonna develop the knight here. Here you have to think about this possibility. You could play d4 and turn it into a proper Catalan, but let's play the knight here first. Now if they take, I can castle. I can also go take my pawn back instantly. Both are fine. b3 is a way to defend the pawn. Really get prepped for the fianchetto here, but it also somehow often makes it kind of tempting to go for the d4 break. Or not like sidestep the pawn, I mean, not really a break. Go for some kind of a Catalan setups. Or not Catalan, Benoni setups. I don't know, I can't speak today. Or at least I can speak, but the brain is not really connected to the mouth. Sound comes out. It doesn't have a thought behind it. Castle seems okay. There's still a check if we need to take the pawn back. And also use this knight route here, I think. Well, we have to be always with this. There is this kind of a queen d4 possibility. That is this. Alright, so I feel like we had something very similar lately where I just defended the pawn with a queen. That I think worked quite fine. Still I don't like this. Takes all the dynamics out of the position. And I'm not really super big fan of the fianchetto if there is like a pawn on here and black can play c6 and... Yeah. Could play d4, possible. If then takes... Knight e5. Then they can't really defend this in a way. Probably would go c5 and start hitting my center too. Here. Still maybe b3, d4 is possible. Question mark. Bishop b2. Knight c6. The idea of e5. Of course they could also play c5. I don't know, I'll do this. My plan is, I feel like last time we tried something like d4, knight d2, e4 plan. And then usually it's a pretty good deal. Either way he takes, I don't end up with the isolated pawn. Whereas if I take instantly and then try to do e4s, then they can always take and d4 gets a bit lonely. Knight c6 is a move, maybe c5 is a move. I mean, I guess takes is also a move. I did already spend a move to get it back. And the queen is not always okay. So he's going for a Benoni setup there. I guess my queen is not well suited for the... Like it's not the ideal square. Maybe d4 was better. I don't have b4 yet because we don't have a really follow-ups here. E3, d3, queen here is it's something, but it's a bit weird. I guess queen c2 could be utilized in a way that we could maybe try c5, deny c5. It's again like a little bit weird. They don't have e5 to defend the pawn. My idea is to go b4. You have to be really careful with a5 because I can't do a3 because of the typical stuff, the a file pins. I feel like this kind of stuff is just really weak because he's gonna shut down that bishop behind this pawn completely. And on the other hand, d3 looks a little weird with the queen here. So here, let's say b6 makes sense. You instantly question this guy here. Maybe b4, a5. Oh, sorry. b6 we have to, of course, they can't willy-nilly do any b6 stuff because there is this possibility. They have the often a Catalanish knight d5 to block the bishop, but then I get a move. Let's try this, that's interesting. It looks a bit weird though. I'm kind of getting a little out of hand here. We haven't really developed this side at all, and I'm pushing a pawn a second time. I guess they also pushed the pawn to second time here. So, but this is like a trying to isolate this pawn in a way situation. I think they can still do this move here. Then e5 is coming. Maybe that is coming. So if I do a3, I assume a5. Still can't do that, I think. Kind of regretting the c5 instantly. Like, is there a threat towards this guy here now? There probably is, actually. If I do e3, d3, queen I don't know where, say c4. I don't know, I'll do this even though it's a bit weird. I'm inviting this way into my camp. I'm gonna take with the f pawn. And the idea to play get the central pawns if takes. Suppose they could do there, or yeah, if takes there, I can always play d4. If they do this instantly, takes. Then I will We'll have some problems with the pawn here. Guess we could push that pawn forward. Discovered here, because I can't do b4 if the queen ends up on d4. Do they have actually take some kind of knight, jerk knight in d3 possibilities? I mean, I guess we could challenge it away from there, but it's a bit of a jerk here. But yeah, you see that when I'm playing something I'm not familiar with, I do struggle a lot. I burn time and do bad decisions, but at least it's kind of fun in a way. I suppose that that is like the most. I didn't even think about that. Like even though it's the most natural move, just defend the pawn. You did put the knight there. You did put the knight there for a reason. All right, I'll take. Maybe there is some sidestep stuff here too. Might actually make more sense. So we could play d3 now, free the bishop. I have to just like maybe, guess I could go bishop f4 if queen here goes for this. I'll go for that. I was also, well, a3, a5. So I was thinking b3 and I could come defend it from here, but that's so awkward. Just to defend a pawn from a3. I'd rather go for counterattacks here if he goes for my pawn. Guess there's other ways to actually win the pawn, now that I think about it. Now that I think about it. Well, I don't know. We have to claim some kind of a dodgy compensation, I guess. There is none, but can always try to claim something. Can't take here, can't play here. That's a gunner if knight d7. Yeah, that's a gunner for sure. All right, so here I was thinking, I mean, maybe could we have something with the knight jumps here? Doesn't really seem like it, so I'm just gonna go for the pawn instead. Also, we free the rook here if we need to. He somehow defends this. I don't know how, like, though defensive moves are awkward. Is this even a sound strategy now that I think about it? Like takes. Can I even take this pawn? Knight c2 hits the pawn, hits the c2. Winning my rook here. Yeah, that's a good question. Das ist eine good question. I guess the knight moves there. The bishop is defending that. Yeah, this is very awkward. The c5 is just weird. Caused me a lot of trouble. I mean, let's just claim it that it's the Benoni sack the c-pawn kind of situation. Get some play on the c file. Invent some compensation for your stuff. I have no compensation, I think. Oh boys, oh boys, oh boys. I have 91 though. Covers both. It's a very awkward move, but it covers both. here, 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 91. Horrible. Because I don't see a good move here. So let's just go for this. 91, A3, kick the knight away. They probably have a million good moves. Like a knight d5 at some point. Where do I stick this idiot? In this line or instantly too? Like here. Ugh. Oh, it's a funny double isoline situation here. I guess I could always counterattack this. Okay, so I have to actually probably make sure that this really works. Because now that I think about it, there is definitely a bishop f4, bishop b7. Gets kind of a spicy, and of course knight e1 is a move you don't want to do. I'm just hoping that maybe I'll get out of dodge with a3. Like maybe, well, I don't think I'm gonna take though. Could we have something going on with if knight d5, a3, takes, knight c2, comes back. Knight here, tries to get somewhere. Something cooking with the bishops and the... I mean, I don't have a bishop here anymore. Bishop and the open a file. And I don't know, some kind of pressure on something. Who knows? Doesn't really seem like it though, but... Again, like I said, you have to invent your comp somewhere. So, he sacks these. Rook has to go there. A3, knight takes, bishop takes, bit ugly. Ay. Also, we have to be very careful about takes, rook here, rook e7, skewering my bishops here and here. So forcing move. Knight takes is not super forcing. It does kind of look at things though. Ay. Maybe I'll take bishop takes, bishop c, rook c1 hits this guy, defends this guy. There's an extremely dangerous... I don't even want to calculate. Let's just go. What else am I gonna do? What else are we gonna do? I mean, I don't have to play a3, maybe, but like I said, this is gonna be a problem if I don't. I don't really have a bishop move. I mean, I could go here. Does it do anything? Not particularly. Guess we could go knight here. Oh, but that's not forcing. I have to stop. I have to do a forcing move because this is a threat. And I have nothing to... I could threaten with the bishops, if so. I can't get out of this except with the forcing moves or moving a bishop away. I am up a pawn though. But the downside is that this is gonna happen. And then there is gonna be a quite dangerous b-pawn. A3 takes. Rook c1. Is there something horribly wrong in that? This guy goes somewhere. Where does it go? It can't go here. It could go here with chop. I'm particularly kind of happy. I don't know. I'll just do this. Whatever, man. I don't think I die on the back rank like maybe I do. Who knows? Assuming the line goes here. If he now goes here, I'll just take. You take, I'll take, you take. I mean, it's still a little kind of a mess, but we're a pawn up. Horrible pawns though. Never mind, my pawn is here. I'll just take, get the tempo. I mean, we could get the tempo on this guy, but that I can attack my rook, so I'd rather take a tempo on this guy. And I think I can take it, and there is, well, maybe there's some kind of like here, check. I don't think I die though. I mean, of course the rook's kind of unpleasant there. Might get checkmated, who knows. I don't think so, but like it's a quite unpleasant. I mean, there is no check here because I have the bishop here. There's a check here, I can hide here, and I mean, that's the hope. Somehow that is fine. So I don't know, I feel like the bishop is gonna move somewhere. I mean, I don't know, maybe some knight move. Of course, that's always a little awkward if you defend a piece that's attacked. I could pin it and stuff could happen. Alright, we're even in the material. Both sides have bishop pairs, but they have the d pawn that looks very scary. Like if it somehow moves a little further, and I mean, you have and maybe also the rook coming here. Wait a moment. Wait a moment. Well, he's kind of saying that I might have miscalculated something. I thought I can take rook check, king g2, forced. King has to go here. There's a check here. I mean, I could go back and perp, but also there is the pin here, which is unpleasant. But I'm up a piece though. Am I missing something horrible? Like, why do I die here? I mean, not really. Doubting that they have comp. It is very, very possible. Well, takes check, king here. Check, king here. Then they either push, which is a pretty dangerous thing. I might have, if it goes here, I have to sack it. They'll take my rook. Possible. Anyways, we'll see where this ends. Maybe there is something really simple I missed. Oh, there's also this. He can take instantly back there if he wants to. Gets the piece back. Of course, that kind of solves my pin problems there completely, which is good. Oh, he's saying something, discover check. Well, that is true. That is true. But that is also like a pin situation. Guess he's gonna do f3 check, king f1, bishop d3. Yeah, bit of a noise. How did I miss the this move completely. I was just looking at checks and lost track of things that go that way. Oh boys, oh boys. Of course we could take here. Is there any comp there? No compensation at all, I think. It's on the pawn that this guy lives. I have the bishop pair. Might be something, but this feels like a big problem. Bishop here. Might take here. You. Okay, I'm gonna live with this, but this also looks pretty dead though. I guess if he checks, I could go here. Because then this is no longer a discovery. I mean, this looks pretty dead though, but... So I don't end up on the back rank. Somehow that feels really bad. They could take here, defend that. It's that. Seems pretty good for black, to be honest. Seems pretty good. I don't know, I have to move a really awkward move with this bishop. Oh well. All's well that ends well, but this won't end well, I think. I mean, of course, I'm not threatening anything. He doesn't have to check me. He can, for instance, move the pawn forward. I don't know, I probably go here, hit the rook and try to stop the pawn. Maybe then check. I run somewhere. If he pushes, at least I can take this probably. We're kind of stopping things. I guess they could check first. G4. Still don't have this or that. Okay, that's a dodgy line anyways. They have so many good lines like checking instantly. Going for this looks much better. So, do I want to be on the back rank, which looks really dangerous? Or here, which looks really awkward too? Or somehow G1, where we are not in a discovery, at least, but still on the back rank. I don't know. Looks so bad though. I'm like almost in a checkmate there too. Also, there's a check. Oh boys, oh boys, oh boys. I mean, just go somewhere, man. I don't know. I'll go King H3. Looks the worst, but what else? I just didn't want to go to the back rank. Did not want to go to the back ranks. I'll just go here. Because, I don't know. Do you want the knight taking my bishop? Here at least does something. Not sure what, but something. Now, I am maybe threatening something like this. Kick the knight, maybe go under the pawn. Stuff. Maybe we can do stuff. Also, I don't know why, but there is no check there. My rook has been there all the time, so... Not sure why I didn't register that that's not a thing. I mean, eventually. Eventually we see something, but not much. It's always a little too late. I guess this is maybe a decent square then. There's knight there. I could probably go here. We do have a bishop pair, which is good. Bad is that there's a d-pawn. That seems a bit hard to manage. Bishop there. And that does enable some kind of a check here. But I was gonna play check g4 against that one anyways. I'm gonna go here. If I'm just gonna go here. I don't think I get mated, like maybe we do. H4, maybe I can take, and then that's not attacked 3 times again. Or maybe I could take this one and say that maybe that's fine. Who knows? Not that I could really do much about the check anyways. All right. That's a kind of a painful move again, Meister. That's a kind of a painful move. Yeah. Very, very, very annoying. So if I take here, take here, take here, take here, I lose a piece. One of those games. Well, I guess I have to do this. Of course, that's completely garbage now. I don't have a bishop pair. There's a unmanaged passed pawn now. Just a free pawn down, or a full, like a full pawn down, and it's a very dangerous pawn too. I have no compensation anymore. With the bishops, I had some comp. Can you do? Well, good part is that this is here, but that's about it. That's about it. I don't know. I'll go here. Seems I mean, I want to go on the light square somehow, but maybe it would be best. Or stay in the pin. Might kill me too. I don't know. Feels like a rock and a hard place situation. Either one looks very tempting, to be honest. So he's saying, yes, if I go there, he says, thank you, another pawn. I guess if I went here, I could at least go on there. Now he's also threatening this, but also that. Oh. Just you. I don't know, maybe a4. Bishop here. Who knows? Bishop here. I don't know. I'll try to keep my things, but it doesn't look too great. This looks the most annoying, to be honest. This looks also annoying, but I don't know, maybe I could go here. Okay, I'm just gonna move, whatever. Whatever. Then I'll go here, whatever. Assuming, assuming. Bishop b2, queen, or the rook b2, bishop b3 is gonna win the game though. It's probably true. Also running out of time. That's an extra bonus. A bonus, so to speak. I don't know, let's go there. It doesn't really do anything for my do menu house, but it's a move. That is definitely coming there. This doesn't really help me at all. Let's go attack a pawn. Probably sack a bishop here if allowed. Move the rook away. Sack there. And then stuff. Feel like rook e8 is maybe like the most accurate move here. No. Alright. Well, I don't think this is gonna help me at all, but... Here... Maybe I should have gone here instead. Oh, I have the tactics there though. I do have the tactics there. Okay. I'll just go here. Cover any rook jumps there. I don't doubt I'm dying there or somewhere else. I have only one pawn for the... Let's go to a dark square there. At least nobody's on my f3 now. Not doubting that they can easily stop the a pawn. But... Well, I guess that is happening, and then that's that. That is that. Rook here is just gonna make it worse. Rook here is just gonna make it worse. If I get out of the pin, it comes anyways. Then it happens here. I lose the pawns. Horrible. Horrible, horrible. I don't know. I'll push this. If they go here, I guess they could go this side too. So it just like most accurate move. Not to be able to get pinned. I don't think this pin matters, but actually it's probably the worst. So where do I stick my thingy-ma-pop? There's realized that if I go that way, I get checkmated. So I had to go into a freaking discovery anyhow. Good part is that the rook can't attack my rook. So we have that going on. I really wanted to... Oh, alright. Not sure that changes the thing. Of course, if I went there, then this could have checked and then moved the king somewhere. I don't know. I'm gonna go here. Go back, I'll go back. Or whatever. Now you are in a bit of a pin here though. And I am maybe threatening this. Or even there if the king moves somewhere off the back rank. Alright, suppose that is a thing. I'll go here. Let him have the pawn. I don't know, maybe I should have gone there. Why do I give the pawn for free? I wanted to cover this square in some kind of attempt to maybe win the game in a way that they go here. I'll take, go here, and they can't stop the pawn, but It's stupid. It is stupid. Alright, well, I'll take the bishop. Well, I don't think I'm losing anymore, though. I think. We should probably not transfer the rook behind the pawn. I think it's on the side, it's more safe. If I could put it behind, then there's always chances that he could go here, in front of the pawns and hold on. So I think I'm just gonna keep the rook on the side. Keep the king around here and hold on. Or obviously this was not the ideal situation for the black. So now we have to avoid some kind of a situation where I let him have a clean 2 pawns there. So I think I'm just gonna keep the rook here covering the f6. The king can't really get here, and if he pushes there, I'm just gonna stay around here. g5 with the thing, maybe. But I'm not gonna like check here, I'm gonna stay here. The king runs are gonna give me a pawn or 2. And those should be drawable. It's a bit long run. At some point we'll attack the pawn there, if needed. I'm just gonna keep this far away as possible. Because here, I don't know, check. I think I'll keep a check. And now I don't think it's my interest to let the king too far. Maybe it's still doable, a7. Just gonna give a check, but a7 is not... Is he? Like, I'm a little worried about some kind of a f5 and king takes and give him a connected passers there. A7. Don't lose though. F5. I don't know, I go here. Whatever. Here. Okay, this should be fine. This is not a mate. These split pawns are even drawn without my extra pawn, but this should make it much easier. Much easier. I mean, maybe it's not so easy ever, but I don't know. Let's move the rook somewhere. So how do we draw this? No, I'm gonna stay there. Usually against this setup, the best play for the rook is to stay around here where you have a possible checks on both sides. I don't know. Usually I think it's the general rule is to stay in front of the most advanced pawn, but I don't know. I'll let that go. I'll let it go a little bit further. Can I take the f-pawn? King h5, king f4, sorry, king h5, king f5. That should be good enough though, right? Yeah. This is not in time to run through. And also they should probably catch that now. Well, he's playing a bit with fire though. He's giving me a big fast pawn. Check, king h6. Of course I could draw this easily by moving the rook anywhere. Let's give this check. Gonna go... Maybe I'll give another check if he goes king h6. Any other move loses instantly to a back rank, so this is the only way. I don't think this is a real threat to win though. I mean, it doesn't even threaten anything. So I'll just go here. It's a basically a draw for... offered him a draw. He accepted. Well, I don't doubt that I was lost there for sure. Alright, so let's look at things. Let's turn on the book. Learn some opening. d5, knight f3, bishop e7, all normal. Castles is most played, castles is most played. Then d4, b3. Our moves, yeah. c5, yeah. But then we play the... I mean, it's a thing. d4 is probably actually now, in hindsight, best. This is the real mainline Catalan. Why not? Queen c2 is a main, kind of a sideline. Then d3 is the most played. I played them. I knew this is really dodgy. Apparently Swidler has played this against Adams and lost horribly, I guess. I'm not sure how it's horribly, but lost anyways. Knight e1. Curious move. Does white want to take there? I mean, I guess we could defend the pawn this way. Weird. Funnily that, okay, -1. Somehow I gave black big advantage. -1.5. -3. What was the... Oh yeah, I don't doubt this was the... somehow in winning in betweener. Knight g5 takes. Where do we go? If we go here, bishop g4 wins. Hooray! Where else? Here. Bishop takes c5. b4. -4. Okay, so this was the best opening I ever played. They missed a in-betweener there. This is not horrible. That's apparently inaccurate. Yeah, what was I said that he should play? Maybe I was thinking this move. Computer says knight d5 instantly is the best. I mean, it has only bad options. Only bad options. Then you can chop, and I don't know. do this or that, I suppose. Yeah, now it's just bad. Bishop d6, ask that question. Yeah, I'm just losing again. Take a ball. a3 is the only move. Takes, takes. Rook c1 only move. Rook takes. This is all fine. Oh, why did I not see this move? Not weakening all my thingy-bobs here. Somehow white is actually winning here. Because now this is a pin. e3, bishop a5. Rook has no moves. I win the... We're just threatening this and winning the bishop. Horrible. If you defend the rook, we do it anyways. Well, that's a miss in a... like a horizon. Mentally blockaded. Stupid brain. I was just thinking that you have to do it. This is not enough that I defend this because that's a check and they take here, but I feel like I've missed similar moves in brass too. Where I have like such a thing that I'm covering this, but then I do like I'm not sure it's the exact same tactic, but sometimes like this is another thing I'm a little bit blind to. Shouldn't be too hard to see. I assume everybody in the chat or who are watching this saw that. Don't weaken the king too much with f3. Play knight bishop f3. Great. Apparently we were winning here. Oh, sorry. f6 we don't win. Yeah. That was the winning line. Bishop f3. Again, I chose poorly. Bad choice. Computer says go king g1. Not into a discovery. It's g1. Then I assume this has to move. Because they could repeat. I don't know where it goes. Probably doesn't want to block the pawn. Maybe he could go here. Idea d3. Can I punish like this? d3. It's a bit pinned, but maybe fine. The pin is kind of keeping the pawn honest there. Yeah, okay, so king h3. There were some problems with this move, yeah. Lost the pawn. Did my bishop, I had to move it somewhere. That is fine. That apparently is not so fine. This is apparently blunder because of... Oh, didn't matter which way it does it, but yeah. Then I'm just lost. I didn't know how to defend and stop this guy. I doubt there is a way since computer is showing -3. Yeah, here, how to stop this. And that. There is no way. So I decided, yeah, let's keep the bishop for that though. I don't know, maybe they, I guess it's a bit hard to. I don't know if it's so hard. You should just defend the pawn first. Maybe that was the best. No. Okay, makes a luft first. Bishop b3 is the same. Okay, didn't make a mistake there. Luft. Yeah, at least I had this tactic here that if we go instantly there, we get the mate in quite a few, but what should we do here though? If I go king f4, I lose the pawn to a check. If I push that, maybe check anyways and go here. We go somewhere. Maybe this would be the least bad thing. King f2. What would Mr. Machine do? I mean, assume that this is so lost that computer analysis become completely useless because it just doesn't care. Everything is lost anyway, so what's the point? Well, rook a5, I don't know what's going on. Well, at some point here I should probably have done something else though. Yeah, well, the problem with that is that it is pinned though. This gives entire advantage away. Rook f6. King here. Ace, let's say, I don't know. Bishop here, here, here. You have stopped my pawn. Fine. Yeah, that's good, because this way you get pinned. And that was problem. Here I almost started to get a bit greedier, and I guess he could just... Not sure what he... I guess he could do this then. And then he's on here. So maybe that's a mistake. Is it? By go king g3? Yeah, because then he gets out of the pin this way. Yeah. So I chose kind of randomly right way. Because I saw the idea that at least he can't one pin. Because I covered this and the bishop can't stop the pawn. Yep. Well, kind of randomly, but kind of had a logic to it. Even though I didn't really see how that was different in the end anyways. Here I would be probably a little worried about like this could actually be losing. Let's see what the machine say. Yeah, suddenly black is losing. Of course, it doesn't probably make any sense to transfer the rook behind the pawn anyways. I do get forward one move, but then they are just gonna slowly build an... Like the king is safe behind the pawn, so I have no checks to promote. He's gonna advance behind the pawns. I was not 100% sure. Maybe like f6 and then you can go forward. I don't know, white does something. You play f6. White does something. You can go forward. And then, now you can't go here because of this and that. And then he's threatening to take this with check and go back or push this forward and then again squeeze me and win this. And yep. So I think this was a right decision. Keep the rook on the side and, well, maybe on general anyways. Unless you see that there is a way to win by going under the pawn forward and then you get some kind of check by force. Usually there's no reason to go in front of the pawn. Of course the rook's always behind. Would be ideal to be behind the pawn. Second best usually is the side and the worst is to be in front of the pawn. Except when it wins. And sometimes it does win. When you get to force the pawn forward and then you have some kind of forced check or some kind of big threat, get the push there. I guess I didn't really think about this option at all, to be honest. Maybe I should have like some kind of a... I don't know why I didn't consider this at all. Where we use the king to push that through. That would make actually sense. I don't know why I just decided to set up some kind of defensive formation. My goal was to avoid letting him have like a somehow connected passers. Like he would somehow be able to, for instance, trade this in a way that he takes with the king. If he gets the split pawns, I was not too worried. Wow! King f6. Instantly losing. So here we should just like... I mean, I guess it makes a lot of sense. I do know. Kind of got tempted by the ability to maybe make a push the pawn further, and maybe my opponent misses some tactic somewhere. But king f6. Now if I go back, king g5, and now if I check, oh, you hide there. My pawn is going. Okay, I didn't really see this at all. Neither did my opponent, but yeah. Interesting way to win the game. Now I'll probably lose the pawn. Exactly what we didn't want to happen. My pawn is immobile still. And there somehow the king sneaks really far ahead and pawns are connected. Horrible. So it's just best to just spam here. If he tries to come here, then we can... I'm not sure this is still good, like he gets to... Maybe like rook f6 is the best. Keep this force field around here, threaten this. This, like if I win this to this guy somehow, it would be a draw. Not how, I don't know how that would even work. Yeah, that's the safest. Bad technique. I think I'm fine here. Still can't make his... Oh, I'm saying fine and Tension says no, you're not. Why? Is this a way that there is like a... Wait, what is going on? Computer is repeating stuff here. It's gonna do something annoying spamming here though. If I do a check, f6, rook here, h5. And again he can force the... Oh yeah, there's much more resources here than I thought. So I have to be really careful in this situation. So which was the mistake here? King e3. That's a impossible move to actually realize that the difference here. King d3. Really? Are you kidding me? Okay, that makes no sense. Now, if this, I can check. Apparently we can even, now suddenly we are winning here. We're, well, not only that, but we're also like threatening to, really not. King D. Jeez, man. Here again, like one move wins. King D3. Why? I don't know. goes here now, suddenly we go backwards. Oh, yeah. I just wanted to demonstrate that we're trying to go here to promote, and if he takes the pawn, we have the square here. But okay, this thing got really weird here. Really didn't think that it matters where I go with checks. Fine. I don't know. Probably would have seen the move though. With ideas that yay. Not that I would be too. I mean, I might randomly move king d3, but I wouldn't really be able to tell the difference between this and that move during the game, unless I have like 16 hours of time. And so why does this draw? Like they're just gonna give me an infinite amount of checks, and this might even be a decently strong threat. F3. I don't have time for this because of the counter promotion here. Alright, fine. And if I don't go somewhere, it's gonna keep checking, and whenever I go too far, it's just gonna go f3. Fine. Okay, so that kind of makes sense. So many resources. But this kind of moves like king g3, king e3. Or they're like winning at the little further part. Too far. f5. Fine. And here this would be even probably a draw even without the a-pawn. Not that I'm 100% always sure that I could hold this, but at least theoretically. I just wanted the pawns to go a little further apart for further, so we have all kind of check ideas there. Also, we might at some point have some kind of like a win one of them with some kind of a rook b4 at some point, where he can't take the rook because of the promotion, and we take there, and then it's just some kind of filly door position anyways. King h3, he goes there. I think I can take it and it'll still be fine. I wonder how bad I can blunder this endgame. Can I just like hold an easy draw? You know, I'm not in time to get there. I went really on the wrong side of this thing with the king. f2, king d5. Guess I'm just in time though. This way we get free tempi there. Or, well, they don't have a... I get out of the way, so we have this file, and this file to hold on the pawn. I was checking more, and if he goes too far, then we get in time to defend our pawn. Now I can sack against this guy if I want to. Hold on. Yeah, I guess there was no chance here. Then I was tempted because his king gets to us flank here, and but there's no real matrix here. Anyways, that was another long one. Thanks for watching. It was really bad performance all the way to the end, I see. But I'll take the draw out of the jaws of defeat. Anyways, thanks for watching and ciao.